Hello! How's it going? Jordan Anderson here, and it has been a while since I brought you guys a new video. It's been about 2 weeks or so. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I've been working really hard at bringing you guys some really awesome content, some awesome things that's hard to do when you work in a full-time job and have a bunch of other obligations going on. But I'm working on it. I'm working hard on it. So there'll be some awesome things coming. You'll see in the next few days, few weeks. So, but today I wanted to bring you guys my review, non-spoiler review of Captain America: Civil War. I had the chance to go see it last night, and as you can see here, I got my underoos. It's Spider-Man. Yes, he's in the movie. I don't know. I'm sure most people know he's in the movie, but for anyone that doesn't, Marvel got the rights back to Spider-Man. Well, not necessarily the rights back, but they were able to use him for the movie. They made a deal with Sony. Sony was in some financial trouble, and they were able to use Spidey and bring him back into Avengers, which is awesome because Marvel Civil War is my favorite comic book of all time. Like, it is incredible. Like, I recommend anyone to read Marvel Civil War. There's you can get the trade paperback. I have it, and it's about 50 pages. I don't know, something like that, maybe a little less. But and it is an amazing comic book, and there's also a lot of side comic books out there you can find that shows like what is like Black Panther doing during Marvel Civil War, what is Doctor Strange up to, what is the Punisher up to, what are all these different characters up to, what are some of the X-Men up to during Marvel Civil War. And that's in the comic book world. In the movie world, it's you got all the Avengers minus Thor and the Hulk, and then you add in Spider-Man, of course, the underoos, and you add in Black Panther, you add in Ant-Man, you add in a few cool characters like that. And and to explain the underoos for some of you that don't know, that's what Tony Stark calls him. So Iron Man, when they're getting ready to have a big battle, he calls in Spider-Man and he says underoos, and then he comes in and shoots his web and grabs Captain America's shield here, and there's a huge epic battle that takes place. So I'll just start off by saying that Captain America: Civil War is probably my all-time favorite Marvel movie so far. And that's saying a lot because there are some amazing Marvel movies that I thought we would never get to see on the big screen that are just awesome. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, are you kidding me? Who would have thought we would have saw a talking tree that only says I am Groot, or a raccoon who has a giant gun and can go toe-to-toe with big, huge, giant bad guys. Then you also have Captain America: Winter Soldier, which is amazing. That movie, to me, had the feel of like a spy thriller, kind of 70s espionage type movie, which is awesome. And you have the Russo brothers directing Civil War. They also did Winter Soldier. And I always thought that Captain America, any movies involving him, he'd be kind of square, kind of the Boy Scout, kind of boring, and it wouldn't be that interesting. I've loved what they've done with Captain America, to where he's become pretty much almost my favorite character. I mean, my roots always be with Spider-Man, you can see back there, and also Deadpool. So those two will always be my two favorites. I also have a place in my heart for X-Men, but they're owned by Fox, so they aren't a part of this movie. But yeah, like, this movie was incredible. Like, the storyline, like, so you had Batman vs. Superman that came out, two of DC's top two superheroes fighting against each other, and I just didn't really buy it. Like, I didn't really understand like why they were fighting and what the overall conflict was. I understand that Bruce Wayne and Batman was upset because of all the destruction caused in Metropolis, and that he was pretty pissed off at Superman for like causing all the destruction, so he goes after him, and but I don't really understand a lot of the rest of the movie. It's cool, it's got some cool fight scenes, but you just don't really feel the passion or feel the real reason why they're fighting each other. In Captain America Civil War, you feel it. Like, it tugs at the heartstrings, and you feel, and at its root, it is a Captain America movie. Like Tony Stark plays a huge role, and a lot of the other characters, pretty much every Marvel character we've had to date except Thor and Hulk are in it. And the awesome part is that like each one of them gets a decent amount of screen time and some good time dedicated to their part in Civil War. But the focus is definitely on Captain America and the story of Bucky, and that he's still kind of being mind controlled by Hydra to do all these crazy things, to go out and kill, and so Captain America's trying to get his best friend back, Bucky, the friend that he fought in World War II with. You see that in Captain America: The First Avenger, and so he's on the hunt for Bucky, pretty much trying to bring him home and to bring back his friend. And there is the story, basically, without giving away any spoilers, is that the government thinks that all these superpower beings, they need to be put in check and they need to keep tabs on them. And so basically the UN enacts some kind of accord. I think they call it Genovia Accord, I think. I can't remember exactly, but they might have that wrong a little bit. But it's the floating city from Avengers Age of Ultron, and they name it the Accords after that. And so they go on, in the beginning of the movie you see them going on the big mission, and I won't tell anything that happens, but besides the fact that like people die in it, and so the government thinks that all superheroes need to be put in check so that doesn't happen anymore. And Tony Stark, Iron Man, agrees with that and signs up to work for the government, and then they send him out, and whoever else decides to sign up out on all these different missions, and they work for the government essentially. And Captain America, Steve Rogers, just doesn't agree with that. He thinks that they're having their rights and their freedoms taken away, and that they should be free to do what they want, and they do it in order to save lives, and they want to be able to be there whenever they want to or are able to help in different conflicts and to help save people that are in trouble and need help. So, and probably one of my favorite parts, or my favorite like aspects of this movie, is the action. The action is amazing. I'll just say one word: airport. You'll see what I'm talking about when you see the movie, but it is incredible. And I think they did Spider-Man justice. I think Tom Holland's going to be an amazing Spider-Man. I don't like that they keep rebooting Spider-Man, and we're now on our like third or fourth Spider-Man, something like that, if you count TV. And so, but he does an awesome job. And there's a lot younger Aunt May that you get introduced to. You also get introduced to T'Challa. Some people pronounce it T'Challa with a T, or Chala, but it's Black Panther. So he's in there, and Chadwick Boseman kills it. Like he's awesome. And yeah, it's just an amazing movie. Like there's so many awesome Marvel movies. I mean, probably my favorite Marvel movies, I'd have to say, I mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the second Captain America movie, which I don't know why I keep having a brain fart on the name, Winter Soldier. Come on. But and then I also loved the first Iron Man. I thought that was awesome. Those are probably my favorite Marvel movies that I can think of. Just trying to make sure I'm not leaving anything out, but those are probably my like top 3 favorite Marvel movies. But this Civil War surpasses all of them. Like it is awesome, and I'm going to see it again tomorrow night with my girlfriend, and I'm excited. I'm just so glad that they're able to bring my favorite comic book story of all time to the big screen. It doesn't follow the comic book exactly, like it's kind of a mishmash. There's parts where it follows the comic book very closely, and even down to some little details you see, but there's some parts where they like totally stray off, and it's not close at all. But I'm trying to think of a few other standout characters that they really did a good job. I mean, Black Widow gets her due. She's great in that. Ant-Man, I love Ant-Man. He's probably one of my favorite characters. And the Vision, you kind of see the Vision and Scarlet Witch's relationship a little bit. I mean, develop a little bit, not a lot, but that's kind of cool to see. And stay after the credits. There's 2 after credit scenes, a mid credit and an end credit, and they're okay. Nothing real memorable or anything. But they're fun. They're definitely better than the Age of Ultron one with Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself, and he picks up the gauntlet. Like, we knew Thanos was coming. Come on. But yeah, and I think this is a movie to where if you haven't seen any Marvel movie up till now, it won't matter. Like, you can just pick up with Civil War, watch this movie. It does work as a standalone. It's definitely, I recommend seeing as many Marvel movies as you can, because they bring in elements from every single Marvel movie that there is, including the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. They have Thunderbolt Ross. He's in like all the trailers, and so I thought that was a cool element, because technically that was the start of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was an Incredible Hulk. They just didn't bring back Edward Norton. That's a long story, but I'm glad they brought Mark Ruffalo in as the Hulk. He's not in Civil War, but he's going to be with Thor in Thor Ragnarok, so I'm looking forward to that movie. And yeah, like, I'm excited. And there's definitely some great trailers. You get a cool X-Men trailer before, you'll get a Doctor Strange trailer, you'll get a lot of really cool trailers. You get a Star Wars Rogue One, at least where I saw it. Those are the trailers we had, so yeah, I got to see it early since I work in a movie theater. That's a nice perk. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and give my score of the movie overall. I'm sure you know what it is. It's a 10, obviously. That movie is amazing to me. Like I'm a superhero nerd, total superhero. Star Wars, probably my big 3 are superhero, Star Wars, and Ninja Turtles are like, because Ninja Turtles for sure is my childhood, and then I just love Star Wars and anything Marvel to death, even some DC. Like, I'm a bit of a DC fan, but Marvel are my roots, son. So yeah, my score is a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing movie, and I can't wait to see it like 2-3 more times. And I definitely recommend that you go out and check out this movie. I think that it might be the highest grossing movie that we get in 2016, but don't quote me. We still have Fantastic Beasts coming out. We still have Rogue One coming out, Finding Dory. So those are, to me, some of the big contenders for highest grossing movie. Maybe Independence Day, maybe Born as some outsider chances, but yeah, definitely go see Captain America Civil War. You will be glad you did. You will not be disappointed. So I'm just going to tell you a few upcoming things that I have going on. I don't know if you've been to my Facebook page, but you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/JordanAnderson21, JordanAnderson21. And on my page, I posted, I'm doing a thing I'm calling the Movie Hero Madness. So on my Facebook page, I'm doing something called Movie Hero Madness, and it's a tournament bracket similar to the NCAA tournament, and I'm doing the greatest comedians of all time. So on my Facebook page, you can find a printable version of the bracket. You can find just a straight up picture of the bracket that's clear, so you can zoom in and see all the matchups. And then there's a link to a website, and I'm going to put in all my next few videos, where you can go and vote for the play-in round. So it's going to be 68 teams, going to be 4 play-in matchups, and they're all different comedians. And so right now, on the link to the website is for the play-in round. And so I'm going to have a whole nother video dedicated all to the Movie Madness tournament. I'm excited. It took a lot of work to put together, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, that should do it. So go see Civil War. Like I said before, you can find me on facebook.com/JordanAnderson21. You can find me on Twitter. I don't do Twitter as much, but time to time I'm there. It's at Jordan83616. And just find me at the YouTube channel Movie Hero. And yeah, but Facebook is where I post most of my stuff. So definitely friend request me on Facebook. I'll add you, and you can have updates to pretty much everything. And yeah, you'll be all set.